Welcome back to another episode of the Boathouse Girls. I'm Rachelle.
And I'm Becky.
And how are you today?
It's been a week. It feels like the Mondayest Friday I've ever had in my life right now.
Mondayest Friday?
It has felt like a Monday every day this week.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
how are you? Are you well?
Let's just move on to the podcast. Let's stay away from all work topics.
We are perpetually in a state of exhaustion at this point. We are too young to retire, and we are too young to even see the finish line for retiring. Therefore, it is a perpetual state of Groundhog's Day.
It is.
Or Gen X style, the Dunkin' Donuts time to make the donuts commercial.
I do feel like that quite often.
Yeah.
Actually, when it gets to testing season in May, and I'm in charge of those tests, well, I don't even know what day it is. I just know what test day it is. Like today is chemistry. Tomorrow is history. Yeah.
It's kind of how I feel right now. Yeah. Like what day is it and where am I?
Got to get your rhythm.
I'll get there.
Well, anyway, Boathouse memory time.
Yay!
I think today, since our lives are perpetually slow, moving in slow motion of torture in a continuous hell loop, let's talk about something fast.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
So when I think about the lake, one of my favorite things, and I think it was yours too, was to go out in the boat and to go fast. Because do you remember I was talking about how the boathouse was built to hold many boats, even though we really only had one. Mm-hmm. But hey, whatever. And we've talked a little bit about the Green Monster, I think.
Yes, I called it the Green Hornet. You called it the Green Monster?
Well, our mothers called it the Green Monster.
Rightfully so, from a mother's standpoint.
Yeah, the speedboat that was green and shiny and was very dangerous and almost killed a few of the boomers out on the lake. But it was fun as a kid. Go faster, go faster, go faster. And when we were little, we also had the, I don't know if you remember this, but the pontoon, the yellow pontoon. Mm-hmm. And do you remember, I think it was you guys were with us on the boat and we were driving and there were too many people up at the front. Like your dad was up on the front. Mm-hmm. And my dad, I think, decided that we were done in the pontoon for the day. So he started to speed up. And the front on a pontoon boat, when you have too much weight in the front.
I do remember.
And your dad hopped over, because they used to have like the gates. And it was like they had a front porch on them. They don't have that so much anymore. Now they're more safe.
I remember him doing the hop skip over the gate with his beverage in his hand.
Yeah. Whoa! Yeah. Because I think he'd been out swimming. Like he swam. Yeah. You know what it was? I think he swam out to somebody's dock and they gave him a beverage and he swam back. If I remember right. But my little brother and your little brother were asleep in the old school. They were, the lounge chairs, but they were the ones that had Gen X. We had what were they made of? It was plastic, but they were like tube-like plastic that wrapped around. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about.
And it would sink and they would get real hot in the sun. But you could flatten them out really easily. And the boys were asleep. And I know my brother Paul was like asleep and my mom had a towel or something over his head because he was little. He was like a baby to keep the sun off of him. And we had been cruising. And your dad hopped over and promptly sat on my brother. And my mom was like, Jerry, get off the baby. It was at that point that we realized, pontoons weren't meant to go fast.
No. Which was a disappointment because we would get out of the Green Hornet, that speedboat. And then, they would all be like, we're taking the pontoon now. And we'd all kind of go like, aw, because we wanted the fast one. Yeah, there was none of that. I remember though, I remember having the grill on your pontoon. We actually were grilling.
Yeah, your dad made hot dogs. That's probably why he was, Yeah.
Well, I was
supposed to do that anymore either.
No, I don't think we were supposed to do it then, but
Probably not. Probably not.
Who was Bart to follow the rules?
Or Larry.
Or Larry,
and together.
for that matter.
Yeah, like the pontoon was boring because the adults went slow around the lake, and we wanted to either be in the big boat going fast or in the water.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah, there was. Yeah, the whole parents need their cruise time thing. Oh my goodness. We thought that was torture. And now I think, I love a good pontoon ride.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, now I'm like, are we going on the pontoon? Woo, take a cruise. Like, remember your 40th birthday? We celebrated it at the lake and my dad was there. And we got our cruise. And then later in the day, I went in there and like, your niece would like another cruise, please. Okay.
And he was like, Beck, I hope you know you're the only person I will leave the NASCAR race for.
Oh, yeah. NASCAR was on. Whoa.
Thank you.
Talking about going fast.
Yes. Thank you, Uncle Larry. Yes.
But yes, that was one of the highlights always is like going in and then whatever boat we had after that, just going fast.
And it is perpetual. My kids, when they came along, they would be in Grandpa's boat once he had his own lake place and his own boat. And they would constantly be saying, faster, Grandpa, faster, Grandpa. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it is the prerogative of little children on a lake, on the water. And they feel safe because their dad or their grandpa is driving. Therefore, it's fun.
Probably shouldn't have felt that way, guys.
Well, my kids were fine, but you and me, maybe
back in the day, I don't know, that was probably the best. Oh, well. Anyway, so taking a step from that, I want to extend that as, like I've always been told by my father and other people that I have a lead foot. And I don't see why, but I think it might be partial Gen X thing in some ways because we watched Smokey and the Bandit. And you learn to go fast, or in the words of,
And the Dukes of Hazzard. Nobody drove slowly in that show.
Give me a Bo and Luke Duke. Yeah. No. I never try to jump things, but I am guilty in doing what I think is, like if I'm on a trip and it's 250, Google says it's 250 miles. It's my goal to beat Google.
Same, 100%. Every time I can get us there faster.
I go by what I call Luther speed.
Mm-hmm. In fact,
Google speed, Luther speed.
You just reminded me of one of the Bartholomew family trips when we were all getting together in Sioux City, Iowa. Mm-hmm. And on the way down, there was a south wind. And I remember my dad saying to my mom, "Oh, Luther's got a tailwind today. He's probably going to beat us there." And my mom looks over and in her best deadpan voice goes, "I don't think Larry needs a tailwind."
Well, I think his daughter inherited that.
Yeah, I think so too. What though? I had a professor once who told us in class she had been driving her mother to an appointment somewhere, and she was driving her back, and a police car pulled out of a rest area and was driving right by them on the interstate. And she said, "I just don't have patience for that." So I pulled over with my mother at the little, truck stop, and we waited 10, 15 minutes and got back on the road. And we all kind of looked at her. She said, I like to drive a little over the speed limit. And we all kind of laughed. And I don't know how many times that has revisited me in my own mind over the years. Same. I just like to go a little faster than I suppose the sign says I should go. But when you grow up in North Dakota, you can.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. You have to get places.
Well, so anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, we don't have a whole bunch of people driving around us when we're in these rural parts. It's okay if you go a little faster. It's not like we're in bumper to bumper traffic.
Now, like when I'm out in the country up north, I will go slow because of the gravel. And I don't want it damaging my rental car or whatever I'm driving. Like I've learned that over time. I'm better about that. But definitely, if you're, if you're not first, you're last. Go.
And there'll be none of that. Larry's daughter will not be last.
I will not be last on the highway. No, sorry. I mean, the man did teach me how to speed shift on my 18th birthday. So there's that.
Bravo, Larry. Uncle Larry should have been teaching me how to drive. I don't even know if my dad ever rode with me when I was learning. My mom always did. Yeah. Then the day I got my license, we were going out to the farm and Dad said, Beck, why don't you drive? Like he had to prove to me that this is real, that this happened. Prove that thing that they just gave you with the documents signed and sealed and delivered.
The state of North Dakota has said it's official. I don't buy it.
I don't.
Prove it.
I got us there in one piece.
There you go. Well, yeah.
In the diesel Buick.
Oh, in the diesel Buick. Nice.
Yeah, it was great. No. If you had to pass anybody on the highway, you had to stomp on it for about 5 miles ahead so that you could go in the right speed.
Is like being up in North Dakota compared to like, being in Kansas when I learned how to drive. It's got hills and stuff on eastern Kansas where I was. And, it's more dangerous to pass people, I guess. But when I would hit South Dakota, North Dakota, and you could see flat, oh yeah, let it go. But so how old were you when you learned how to drive? Because I think we learned it. Everyone up north learns earlier.
Yeah, I think the first time I really got to drive, I was probably like 11, 12, when I got to really do it like on the road, not just in a driveway or somebody's farmyard, but on the road. I think I was about 12 the first time I did.
And then your mom taught you?
Yeah, we were coming back from my Aunt Polly's and she let me drive. I asked if I could and she was like, no. And then she thought about it. Well, and it was out in the middle of nowhere and no traffic really to worry about. Sure. And then I was just on the gravel roads. When we got to the highway, she took over. Yeah.
My grandma taught me how to drive. One day yeah, Grandma Irene. One day I was outside and I guess I had a growth spurt or something. And she said, get in the truck and sit in the driver's seat. And my feet reached the pedals and I could see her with the steering wheel. And she goes, today you learn how to drive. You can reach the pedals. You got to learn how to drive.
Wait. Was this the white truck?
It was, but it was a white truck, but I don't think it was the white truck because I was only 8 or 9 years old. I was really young. I was like 8 or 9.
I think that truck predates us.
I vaguely remember there was another white truck before the white truck.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
okay.
But I remember Grandma being like, today's the day. And she had me driving around and here I am like around the yard and stuff.
Well, yeah, because the wheel was big back in those days, man.
And my dad, I think they had been out on the fields and my dad came in the yard and saw it and just shook his head. And my mom was doing dishes and just saw her daughter driving by the window. Hey, look at me. We did a few laps around the yard and then she took me out on the road because it was a perfect square.
Yep.
So I'd have my driving lessons with Grandma and she's like, if you're on the farm and if you can reach the pedal, you got to learn how to drive. And then also when I finally was going to go get my driver's license in Kansas, the first time I took my driver's test, I failed it.
Did you really?
Yes, because I was afraid to parallel park.
Oh, so like you just didn't even do it?
I just like freaked out and didn't do it the way I knew how to do it. And coincidentally, my grandparents were visiting that week. And so I went home and Grandma's like, let me see your driver's license. And I go, I didn't get it. I failed it. Like I got a perfect score on my written test. And then because I couldn't parallel park, they failed me. And she was just outraged. That is ridiculous. You know how to drive. You know how to do this. And my little brother was at a friend's house and we had to go pick him up in town. And she goes, get in the car. We're driving. I'm taking Rachelle. And she took me and gave me another driving lesson. And while we were waiting for Paul, she made me parallel park like 3 or 4 times. She was just like, you can do this. See, I told you could do this now. Oh, and actually, Grandma and I, oh, see, yeah, you can do this.
Yeah. Oh, you're fine.
You're fine.
Notice how today's, common language would be, oh, you've got performance anxiety. Okay, well, some people don't test well. No, Grandma Irene's like, get out here. We're going to try and do this like 3 or 4 times. Let's go.
You can do this. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're in your head. Knock it off. And then the next day she's like, we're going again. And she took me to go get my driver's test and sat there and waited. And I got that day. I remember there were 2 people. Everyone knew there were 2 officers who gave the driving test. And there was the male and the woman, and the male failed me, and everyone was terrified of the woman. And she was actually the mom of a friend of mine. And I was like, I do not want that woman as my tester. And so I go and I get her for the second test.
Yeah.
But then I did great and I got my driver's license. And then, they take my picture and stuff, and Grandma's waiting and she goes, see, I told you so. And like, fine, get in the car, drive us home.
I passed on my first try. And I do remember, the parallel parking, it really was performance anxiety. We had practiced enough. And he even had me pull up and do it. There wasn't even a car behind me. He just had me go up to a car that was, and then, go next to it and then back up and parallel park right behind it. And I said, okay, I'll do that. Well, I, was nervous because everybody talked about the parallel parking and how terrible it was. And so I had that in my head. And I got to the curb and I was a little crooked and I kind of bumped it. And I just said, oh, I'm going to try that again, which I don't know where that bravery came from, but I just looked and I checked my rearview mirror and all that stuff and my side mirrors, and I pulled back out. I did it again. And he said, that was very good. If you would have gone up on the curb, that would have been an automatic fail. It was good that you paused and redid. And it was good you checked your mirrors. I remember thinking, okay.
Mine was I was so scared of going near the curb. I was out too far. So they automatically failed me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But then when I got older, and then for my 17th birthday, my parents got me a car with a stick shift.
I remember.
Yeah. And I wanted to go cruising because that's what you did back in the 80s for entertainment. As long as you had a straight road and a tank of gasoline, you could go back and forth all night long.
And that's all we did. We loved it.
Had to do. Loved it. With the music playing, find your friends, stop at Sonic,
Yeah. We did a Chinese fire drill every once in a while just to make it fun.
Just to get a little crazy. And then, so for my birthday, like I got it a couple days before, and I wanted to learn how to drive the stick shift so I could go cruising for my 17th birthday with my friends. So Mom tried to teach me. She didn't have patience to teach me. I didn't have patience to listen. It did not work out well. And then Dad came home from work and she's like, she can't do it. And so he was like, get in the car, let's go. And he's like, you just gotta, taught me in like 20 minutes. Because you have to also remember that Dad used to race cars, I think, back in the day. Okay, so he had me out on the highway.
Maybe not officially.
No, he did officially too.
Oh, yeah. He did officially also.
Yeah, but it was when they blew out the motor when they were first married that my mom said no more. Yeah.
Not funny anymore, Larry. It's not a James Dean movie anymore.
No.
It costs money to replace this stuff. Yeah.
Especially when you're a new young married couple and he's drag racing one of his friends in Enderlin in the new car. No. But he had me on the highway, and then once I got the hang of it, and he was like, okay, don't tell your mother, don't tell her, now do this. And that's when he taught me how to speed shift. The same day I learned how to.
Nice.
Yes. Nice. And then I drove stick shifts for years. Yeah, because it was fun to drive.
It's amazing. I still have people who are impressed when I tell them I can drive a stick shift, and
it's a lost art.
I guess Yeah, I suppose it is. I purposely bought a used Jeep, 5 years ago or
Mhm.
so, 5, 6 years ago, because I was going to teach my kids. And because I like driving a stick. I don't mind it at all. And if it's a Jeep, take the top off and go in up and down to the ditches. Heck yeah, I'm in,
Yeah.
But Ellie got in there and gave it a try, and we went up and down the neighborhood, and she was starting to get the hang of it, but she was like, "Okay, Mom, this is not my thing. I'm good.
It's
I
a
need to do this." It's like, okay,
I mean,
okay. And
I am
to be fair, I am not the most calm parent to learn to drive with. I get nervous about everything. And so, but I was doing pretty well that day. She just was like, yeah, this is too much. I don't need this. I could buy an automatic.
I mean, when I
It's probably
listen
true.
to or talk to like, my friends' children that are like in high school or drivers in like the last decade, the idea of them ever attempting or trying to drive a stick shift, I just don't see it happening because so many of them don't even bother to get their driver's license until they have to, which to me is
Yes.
shocking. From
Yeah.
the minute, Grandma Irene put me in that truck behind the wheel, I was ready to go. Like, when do I
Same.
get
And it was freedom on a
Yes,
whole
it was
new level.
100% it was freedom. When do I get my permit? When do I get my license? When can I have a car?
Mm-hmm.
And now,
Yeah,
I
and the
mean,
day I get my license, you better let me go somewhere with it. Yeah.
mhm.
Oh. And I think about it living in North Dakota. I don't know if it's still the same, but we could get our license at 14. I was
Yeah,
still
because of the
14
farming
years old when I
community.
got my license. It was before my 15th birthday. Yep, and you had to get your permit and have it so long. It was like 9 months or 10 months or something before you could take your test. And so, as soon as I turned 14 and could get my permit, I got it. And then I ended up taking my test before I even turned 15, and I passed on the first try. So I, yeah, I was
Yeah,
driving at 14 legally. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, my parents didn't though. They didn't let me have the car much at that age. I would do driving with them more than anything else. Yeah, it wasn't until like probably my junior, senior year of high school that I got to venture
Same.
out once in a while. And by then we had the Waldock conversion van.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could just put 15 of my friends in the back.
Sean was just talking about conversion vans, I think, yesterday, and he was like, they need to come up with a new version of the conversion van. Should bring it back. Since we're all driving
Oh, it was
SUVs, why
great.
not?
Why not? Heck, I
Why
remember
not?
Tim and Waylon sitting in the way back going, this is awesome. They're finding the cup holders and the ashtrays, that nobody in my family used. But like, Becky, this is awesome back here. I could take a nap. Yep,
And
that's
he was
exactly
talking
why I
about
picked
how
you up
the
on a Friday night.
the captain chairs would swivel in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they would bounce with every bounce you hit, every bump you hit, you'd be like, wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah. It's like some
Yeah.
bad playground equipment back there. It was great. And we never buckled up in the back. We would just be, laying back there on whatever road trip we were on. It was awesome. Oh, I don't know how we all
Remember
stayed alive, but
Uncle Don and Aunt Connie, remember they had their vans with the beds in the back?
yeah,
Long trips.
that's
Yeah.
what we had when I was in
The conversion van.
junior year of high school. That's what I got to drive was the conversion.
One of the
I'd go to
happiest
Lisbon and drive.
in the conversion
I
van.
the main drag with the conversion van.
Mm.
My friends all called it the boob.
The what?
The boob. I'd pick them up in the boob.
Do I dare ask why?
I don't even know. Honestly, nobody was being crass or crude. They were like, "Oh, it's the boob." And it just became a thing and we laughed. It was nobody was being dirty or weird. It was just a word. Probably
Okay.
alliteration. Becky's here in the boob. Let's go.
I love me some alliteration.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Me too.
One of my happiest moments as a teenager is the day that I saw my parents pull into the driveway with the new station wagon, the 1980 station wagon with the back, and it was brown and yellow. And I was excited because that meant I got to have the giant 1977 Pontiac Catalina as my car.
Got you.
I didn't care what I drove. I just wanted something to drive. I wanted my car, right?
Yeah.
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 And that was the moment when that pulled in. My first thing was, wait, do I get the other car?
Yeah. What does this mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dad,
let's step this back a little bit.
Okay.
Good. You turn 17 and they give you a car. God bless your parents. And I
was also the chauffeur for my brothers. So it was.
Okay. True story. True story. So Joel got a car when he was still in high school, like he's graduating. They got him a car. Okay, that makes sense. He's the oldest. He's going off to college. Okay. Becky comes along next. Does she get a car? No. Oh, you don't need a car. You're fine. And then her younger brother, 4 years later, he's in high school. They get him a car. Becky still didn't get a car from her parents. I mean, I got to use one sometimes, but I didn't get to just have a car. And may I just say, both brothers crashed their cars.
That's true.
To the point that they were totaled. And then they each got replacement cars. So they each got 2 cars to Becky's 0.
Well, the thing is, you were pretty. You could find rides.
I never tried that. I never thought that ever. Crap. Can I go back in time? Life would have gotten a lot easier.
That was the logic. She's a girl. She's pretty. She'll find a ride.
Hey, you know what though? I brought it up earlier. We need to devote a moment to the white pickup, the white Reynolds white truck.
Which still
you guys,
exists.
Rachelle. I know. I can't wait. We're going to have a moment in it. I know we are. Okay. Rachelle would come up from Kansas in the summertime and stay, and she'd be out at Grandma and Grandpa Sar's farm. And then she'd drive into Enderlin and we would do the cruise around thing. And it's got nothing but an AM, FM radio in it.
Not even FM.
Always work.
It was only AM.
Just AM.
That's why we needed your white boombox.
Got my little white boombox with 8 D batteries in it.
That was actually the thing. I would pick up you and cousin Tracy, make sure we had gas, and then buy double D batteries to fully load your boombox.
We'd drive around, listen to Pour Some Sugar on Me on May.
Over and over. You know what? That is one of the best albums of Gen X. Def Leppard, Hysteria. There's not a bad song on it.
Good stuff.
It's good stuff. But yeah.
No.
And the best part of the white pickup is it would stall at every other stop sign. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd
and people thought you couldn't drive a stick. We're it's an automatic. And it just doesn't work.
And it would get real fussy. Okay, it's time to go park at the DQ for a while because it's acting up. No, that's classic. And then my cousin Andrea, she actually took her engagement photos. She inherited it. She has it. She took her engagement photos with it. Yeah. And she's tried to keep it up and stuff. But next time we're in Enderlin and she's there, we need to see if we can take it for a drive if it's functioning. That's a classic. I don't even know what year that is, but it had the bench.
No longer have the white boombox.
Yeah, you don't have I bet we could find one though. I bet we could find a white boombox on Amazon somewhere. If nothing else, I know I have Def Leppard on my playlist. So there's that.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
100%.
How many hours did you spend in your bedroom, do you think, as a Gen X kid, just listening to your radio? I mean, can you imagine how many hours we spent in our bedrooms just having the music on? Yeah. Yeah. Man, our bedrooms were our havens. I didn't leave mine much later, as I got
if
older.
I didn't have to eat dinner, take a shower, or do chores, I was in my room. When I had music on. You weren't in your room without music on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the best was when you had a blank tape and you could put it in there and you could tell if your song was coming. You knew that top 40 song was going to show up again in the rotation at some point during the hour. So you would just be ready for when they would stop talking. You could hit record just at the right time. The worst part was when the DJs would talk through the beginning of it and then you'd have to get the song with them talking. It was so frustrating.
Yeah. I used to wait for Casey Kasem's America's Top 40 on the weekends. And you would
he was the best at the pause.
Songs. Yes. And you would try to grab as many songs as you could in that top 40. Yeah. People think like mixtapes were easy. No.
Oh, they were a lot of dang work.
It was a lot of work.
They were skill.
You had to commit to the mixtape. And you couldn't just put, run it like hit play and put America's Top 40 or whatever for like an hour. No, because you're going to have bad songs on there. You had to have, it was a craft.
Yeah. And the commercials, you don't want those in there. Come on.
No.
Yeah, you literally devote a good chunk of your time. Oh, and okay, we always had it timed out. Church would get done at, 11:30. So the last like 4 songs of the top 40 would be playing when we got home from church. So then I could get the good ones. That was nice.
Because you wanted the top 10.
If there was something rising into the top 10 that week, I missed it unless it shot right up to the top. I was in church. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I've been thinking about my radio the whole time I've been here.
I got to get Michael Jackson's new #1 hit.
Phil Collins is sure to take the #1 spot this week, Father.
Today is the day for the Bengals.
And I'm telling you, if I don't get to walk like an Egyptian, I don't know what is going to happen around here.
I do wear my sunglasses at night. How did you know?
I feel like every 80s song could have been a reason for a confession. Bless me, Father, for I have like an Egyptian.
Especially if you go into later dated 80s. I remember we were banned from dancing on the dance team to Push It. Oh no.
And boom, boom, boom.
Oh, our favorite.
Our favorite. And I was at a Catholic youth convention. I kid you not. The year I was going to be a senior. And there was always a DJ one of the first nights and a big old dance. Cause a whole bunch of teenagers from all over the state get together. Of course you're going to put them in this, Catholic function and let them dance. Okay. And
it's not Footloose.
Really went pretty well, but they would always have chats. They would have little chats with the DJ though and let them know what kind of function this was. And I remember standing there talking to someone and this guy had come up and asked if I wanted to dance. And I was like, yeah, okay. And the song that came on was that one. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to my room. And I was like, what? And the guy
One hit wonder.
I can't believe they're playing this. And we were happy. Oh my Lord. We danced our fool heads off because everybody loved that song. It was fun. It was catchy. It was great to dance to. I know the lyrics were, definitely questionable, but the next day, the head dude in charge of the convention gets up there to the microphone, all serious. I will have we have spoken with the DJ company. They will not be getting paid for their choices in music that they played last night.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, I'm serious. It was a real thing. And we're all sitting up in the bleachers at that point going, I had a dang good time. How about you? Yeah. But then,
boomer,
they
wasn't
also
he?
had confessions.
He was a boomer.
He was a boomer. Sorry. Yeah, he was. Yep. And it was about that time that they were setting up all the chairs and tables behind him for the gym confession that they were going to set up for everybody.
Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. I danced to Boom 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 last night like I liked it.
I feel a little bad picking on it right now, but yeah, I mean, honestly, we were just a bunch of kids who liked the beat and we wanted to dance. I mean, there was nobody who boom 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 back to a room from that dance floor. I mean, we're in the middle of a high school.
Nobody
we were
boom, boom,
fine.
boomed.
Everybody went back with their chaperones. It was not happening. We were all pretty darn good kids, you know? Oh my gosh. I would be sweating to death going to confession over I was fighting with my brothers last week and I swore last night. I mean, I would just be sweating thinking I have to go confess this stuff. And yeah, I wasn't boom, boom, booming with anybody. I was a good kid.
We were good kids. I don't even remember when we liked the song. I don't even really know what it meant. I just like the beat. Like you said, I like the beat of it. I didn't know.
And that's like every 80s song that when I was growing up.
Like if you want me to go through the 80s catalog, so many of them were inappropriate, but in a very subtle literary way. And I appreciate that. Yes.
How many times did we sing along to The Police, Don't Stand So Close to Me? Man, we were loving that song.
Roxanne.
Yeah, Roxanne. Every breath you take. Hello, stalker. Yes, okay. Yay, good song. Casey Kasem is playing it in #1. Father, I gotta get home. I gotta tape my stalker music.
Papa, don't preach.
You know, I was watching that video and Bart got home from whatever he had been doing that summer evening. Yes. Walked through, that song is on. It's the song everybody loves, myself included. In fact, I was recording it on the VCR at that moment, and he comes by, pauses literally for like 2 seconds. Beck, I don't appreciate that song. And I was in trouble and I had to shut it off mid-recording. Even I couldn't even finish recording the dang thing so I could watch it in secret later. He didn't know. He had no idea. He just heard the chorus line and thought it was, you know, disrespectful to parents, to boomer parents.
Horrible.
And need I point out, this is the guy who brought home the Irish Rovers. Wasn't that a party 45 that we used to listen to all the time when we were kids?
He used to play it for me when I was a little kid.
I still love the song. Could have been the whiskey, might have been the gin. It's catchy. Could have been 3 or 4 6-packs. I don't know. Oh my god! Yeah, okay, Dad, but Papa Don't Preach really pushed you over the edge.
It did.
Sacrilegious.
My mom's trigger was a lot of Queen's. Queen's. Another One Bites the Dust.
Really? I thought you were going to say Fat Bottom Girls.
No, because that didn't really make the radio that much back then. It was, they overplayed it on the radio again and again. And then Tess Lawson, as we were best friends when we were little, she came out and we played it again and again and again because it was track 1 on the LP for Queen for that album.
Sure.
And my mom hated that song. She just thought it was the worst. Who would sing about this? Another one bites the dust. Another one bites.
Might have stood the test of time, Aunt Betty. I'm sorry. That one was a winner. Oh, so good.
It was a big winner. She didn't care for the theme. She didn't care that it was played too much on the radio. That was the one, I think, that broke my mom. Like, quit playing that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wasn't,
I'm sorry.
you know, I wasn't a terrible, once in a while my parents might knock on the door and say, Beck, can you turn it down? But it wasn't a lot. I don't think my mom would say that I was a loud music kid. I just wanted the music playing. You know, didn't matter.
No.
And then if they were cute enough, then they made it to my wall.
Well, that was mostly, you know what? I talked about you during the Super Bowl. Because I live down here. I live on the border between Mexico and Texas. And, you know, we're a big Bad Bunny people. I have Bad
Yeah.
Bunny on my phone. I had Bad Bunny on my phone for years. You know, it was funny. Like, do you know who Bad Bunny is? Yeah, I know who Bad Bunny is. You know, come on. Plus, I'm around teenagers who listen to Bad Bunny, so you know, you got to know what's going on. But the Super Bowl, did you watch the halftime show? Okay.
Yes, and
And
I know where you're going.
In the middle of it, I'm like, oh, it's Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin.
It's Ricky Martin.
That's what I did.
Yeah. And so then I go to work and everybody's talking about the halftime show, and one of my work friends is just like, "Wait, you listen to Ricky Martin?" I said, "Or how long have you known Ricky Martin?" I was like, "Since Menudo." My cousin Becky was obsessed with the original Menudo. He was all over the bedroom walls. If I stayed at her house, we watched the show. I was like, yes, I know who Ricky Martin is. And as an adult, I've seen him in concert, I think, twice. So, yes. Yes.
Are you kidding? The Latin explosion of the late 90s would be nothing without Ricky Martin.
Without Ricky and the Menudo.
Oh,
yeah. The original.
Boy, did I have a crush on that boy.
I know you did. Your wall.
So beautiful.
I said, so I was like, this is me going completely Sophia from the Golden Girls. Picture this. Mid to late 80s, early 90s, Midwestern North Dakota small town girl, her pink bedroom, and all you can see is the posters of Menudo. They had an effect all the way up there, way back then. Yeah, so I'm sorry. Any of you Gen Xers that complained about the whole Bad Bunny halftime, you're not being true to your roots because we listened to them back then.
True story.
100%.
Well, and come on, you know dang well your parents weren't loving it when you cranked up Quiet Riot, you know, or Twisted Sister on your boombox when you were in high school. So just let the Bad Bunny happen.
Let the Bad Bunny of Beastie Boys. Cousin Trent had Beastie Boys all over his walls. He used to sing,
right?
You got to fight for your right. He used to sing his niece to sleep. You got to fight for your right to party. Come on. You can enjoy a positive halftime experience of a person who, which, by the way, Puerto Rico, for those of you who failed geography, is part of the United States of America. Thank you, Mr. Eberly. You can enjoy the joy of that. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you can understand the words. Like going back to Boom Boom Boom. I didn't need to know what he was saying. The beat was awesome.
No, it was a good time, man. It was fun. A little Latin beat going. Man, I freaking love it. It was so good. I had a great time watching the Super Bowl halftime. And I loved the positive messages that were coming out of it. And yeah, okay, some lyrics will be questionable. Okay, but I can see the overarching message here. It's
you know, like quit nitpicking and just enjoy the moment, people. It's okay. It's okay to find, you know what? That's the general message of the world right now. It's okay to find joy and to hope for some more. It's okay.
That's right. Where the heck is the joy? You know,
it's okay.
I do see the irony here. I started this podcast tonight talking about how it's been a week and a half and it's been the Mondayest Friday I've ever had. Yeah. But here's my joy. Talking to my cousin.
Find the joy.
I don't think I did anything fast when I was growing up. I was not. No. Well, when did I ever get the chance?
You didn't ride your bike fast.
Well, I mean, I got from A to B and we would kind of race a little, but I think I was a little cautious, you know. I wasn't a fast runner. We know that much.
And just go.
Yeah, I would do that, but it wasn't like breakneck speed. I would, you know, pump the brakes a little probably if I needed to. I didn't. And I drove pretty cautiously. I was a pretty good driver. You know, now I go a little fast, but it's not terribly fast. You know, I'm not nothing. Oh, I could make a blizzard really fast at the Dairy Queen. There we go.
Well, there you go.
What do you need?
There was
Medium
no
Oreo?
waiting at
Okay.
the Dairy Queen. No waiting at the Dairy Queen. Becky's making the blizzards today.
I could whip you up a couple sloppy joes and 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, everybody. Be right back.
What's funny is our Gen X generation, I remember when the Dairy Queen Blizzard was created and it was the new item. And now it's like the staple of Dairy Queen.
Oh, boy, were we busy the year that we got the Blizzard machine. Oh, and that darn thing, especially Snickers were the worst because, you have the frozen chunks of Snickers.
Yeah.
And they would eat right through the side of those darn cups. And I constantly would have a splatter of Blizzard all across my arm because that's where you'd hold it while you were doing it. And if that cup ripped open from those darn Snickers, you'd be plastered in it. And, of course, if there was anything fun happening in town, everybody would want the night off, like a street dance or something. Oh. And Bart would be like, yeah, okay, Becky can work. And so I would have to work and I would leave work and all my friends would be stopping by the Dairy Queen. Oh, this is so fun. Yeah. Oh, give me a Mr. Misty. I'm so thirsty and hot from all this dancing and having
Mr.
fun.
Misty.
And I'm like, you're great. Yeah. So I would go to the street dances late and after closing up and I'd be sweaty and sticky from blizzards and I would smell like the grill. It was a good time. And my 80s hair, it retained every smell possible. So I'm not bitter, but boy, I could make a quick blizzard. And I could make the curl on the cone really fast too.
Making the cones. I don't think Dairy Queen even makes my favorite anymore.
Blizzard?
No, Double Delight.
Oh, that was good, wasn't it?
That was my favorite.
The Double Delight. I don't know if
Grandma
they do.
used to make those for me when she worked for your dad. I know, and it's a simple. It's not hard. It's a simple one.
No,
why can't we make it?
I
wonder if I go to the Dairy Queen and be like, "Hey, I need this." Probably look at me like I'm crazy.
I don't go to the Dairy Queen anymore. Moment of truth.
Yeah, lactose intolerance has killed your life.
Well, for sure. That is the number one thing. Although I still do have a little ice cream once in a while and a big healthy dose of Lactaid with it. But I, over the years, just figured out whatever kind of blizzard I wanted, I could make it at home. And when I go to a Dairy Queen, it's really hard to shut it off. I can't just be like, can I come back there and make my own? I know exactly how I like it.
They don't mix them the way they used to either. They don't.
No. Oh God, no.
No.
If you ever get a blizzard, it's not mixed up at the bottom, at least.
And they don't do this hardly ever anymore either. Yeah. Sad.
Yeah. Sad stories. Sad. But it's okay. I don't really need blizzards.
We went sad when we started. We found some joy. And now we're sad again.
I don't think we've covered a whole lot of anything tonight, really. We've just talked about random stuff. We haven't really covered any major Gen X stuff, but that's okay. We don't have to.
I think every Gen X person can relate to the randomness that we talked about, though.
I hope so. I'm sure they can relate to driving the crappy cars. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but those crappy cars are beautiful.
I cannot.
Huh?
Oh, heck yeah.
My Catalina held like 9 of my friends. In the
So did my conversion
Shack,
van.
The Love Shack by the B-52s. Yes. It got me a ride that seats about 20. That was the Pontiac Catalina. So hurry up.
Yeah.
Get your jukebox money.
100%. We drove up and down the drag of Lisbon so many times with that song playing. Oh my gosh. That song and Red Red Wine by UB40 was a popular one that year when we were driving up and down the Lisbon.
The year was 1989. It was an amazing year. Amazing individuals graduated in that year and went off to college. I'm not going to name names.
You're not at all biased.
Not at all.
On that note, Trent McKay graduated that year.
Hey. Oh, wait. And Rachelle Luther. Thank you very much.
I was waiting.
And
sorry, what were you going to say about 1989?
It was a vintage year that we should all remember, because it was not only that, but it was the end of the 80s. Perhaps one of the best decades ever.
And you're right. Honestly, the transition 90, 91, 92 was a strange time. And then grunge came knocking on the door, and I like me some grunge music, don't get me wrong, but I remember thinking, what is happening? I went to the Purple Pickle in Moorhead to go out dancing one night, and I know, right? The Purple Pickle is what it was called. Pickle. It was a dance place. It was a club where you could go if you weren't 21 yet. And I went with a guy I was dating, and he was a year younger than I was. And we're there enjoying ourselves. I dancing to God knows what. I want to sex you up or something. And then all of a sudden this song, no, not I Want Your Sex. It was the Color Me Bad.
Oh, Color Me Bad.
I want to sex you up. Okay. That one. Yes. And then the next thing I know, this guitar riff starts, and I am telling you, this room explodes. All of these kids flood to the floor, screaming and yelling. And I was going, what is this? What am I hearing? This is, what is this? Smells Like Teen Spirit had come on. And that was the moment I realized, ooh, we don't get our fun pop music anymore. There is something different. Else happening.
We're going
here.
Deeper. Yeah. I actually we're going deeper. It's not fun pop anymore, because a lot was happening back then. Like there was Gen X had a voice back then. And it was actually yesterday, I stopped a kid in the hall because students are constantly wearing these concert t-shirts that they buy like at Target or wherever. And whenever I see someone wearing that, I stop them and I ask, do you listen to that music? Can you name one song by that artist? Because sometimes they can't. Or I will reference a song and they have no idea what I'm talking about. But yesterday I saw one of our students and she was wearing a Nirvana t-shirt. And I was like, do you know what your t-shirt is? And she's like, yeah. And she started, I listened to him. I listened to blah, 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 blah. And so, you're like, okay, you may proceed.
You may proceed.
You may pass.
My favorite was, you know who Dave Grohl is, but how did Dave Grohl get his start? And then if they could answer that, I'd be like, and how did he learn to play the drums? And if they didn't answer on pillows, nope, you don't pass. Nope.
None.
Take the shirt off. Go put on your gym jersey. You're fine. You're smelly.
Don't wear your Purple Rain t-shirt if you can't tell me why doves cry.
Oh, for sure. And in Minnesota, that's not gonna fly. You gotta know your Prince.
You better know your Prince.
It sure is. Yeah, I think I knew I had stepped over into adulthood, though, as I read articles and a book written by Prince's ex-wife and realized how toxic he was as a boyfriend / husband and controlling.
You didn't learn that when you watched the movie Purple Rain?
Oh, well, yeah, but I was kind of hoping it was just fiction.
No.
I was hoping it was
man, could
fiction.
That man sing. Wow. And he had the lit
and dance and perform.
Dance, perform, philanthropist. We can't be perfect in every area of our life. Yeah.
Oh, music genius for sure. And honestly, I never got to experience it, but I do know people who ended up at his after shows. He would do a whole concert, and then, various people would either just be stopped and given a ticket, or, they knew somebody, and they would end up in some little hall somewhere, and there'd be a little stage, and then out would come Prince, and he would play from 2 a.m. until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. He'd play a whole nother show. He just wanted to keep singing and playing, and people got in on these shows just because. Yeah. And it was in the early 90s at one point that people in Minneapolis saw an ad for a garage sale in a certain neighborhood, and so they went, and the next thing they know, it's Prince's garage sale.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was real. It happened.
Yeah.
It was crazy. People are
I'm
buying
waiting
Prince's
for the day that I just happen to be in Ireland and Bono has a garage sale.
Bono has a garage sale. I'd go for that. Bono, I see that golden record you got there. You got it marked at $5. I'll give you $2.50.
Hey, you wore that jacket way back in 2001. Come on.
Those sunglasses look like they've had a little road work on them. I'll give you $1.
How many of these sunglasses do you really own? I mean, come on. I mean, I'll give you 50 cents.
And those were comped, weren't they? Yeah.
100%.
Come on, you don't need them. Throw in 2 more and I'll take it. What's that? Oh, that's a drumstick? Larry, okay. Does Larry have the other drumstick to match that? Now you only get $0.25.
You throw in a drumstick, pair of sunglasses, and a guitar pick from The Edge and Adam. Well, we got a deal. By the way, side note, they came out with an EP this week.
Did they really?
Yes.
I missed that. It's been a week. I don't know what's happening in the world.
I have not even had time to listen to it, which is crazy.
Oh,
but the new album is supposed to be released later in 2026. So,
do we feel like there's a tour brewing?
Yes, there is. And Rachelle's going to get her YouTube jam on.
And I think we should get the band back together, as in you, me, Amy, and Cheryl.
Oh.
We could be on a mission from God, and we could go see them in Chicago or Minneapolis or wherever.
In Chicago. In a mission from God.
Oh, I think it'd be a good time.
On that note, I think we'll wrap up this episode of I almost said the
Boathouse Girls.
No, I almost said the Gilmore Girls. Excellent show, by the way. The Gilmore Girls. I love Lauren.
I think we need to dedicate an episode to the Gilmore Girls.
That has to.
We have more than enough.
More than enough
has to happen. Yeah.
But sure. Just ex-nay all the last 10 seconds that I said. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up for the episode of the Boathouse Girls.